Hey friends, Corinne here from Sweet and Sassy Stamps. I know it's been a little while since I've done a video, so I'm excited to be sharing this process video with you today. This is a Valentine's Day card, but you could certainly use these techniques for any occasion card. So I'm going to start out with some Lindy's Magicals. This is the Pass the Jam Jane shaker jar of Lindy's, and I'm sprinkling that directly onto my stamp and spritzing it with water. The stamp that I'm using is from the True Beauty stamp set from Sweet and Sassy Stamps. And I just am very loosely, randomly stamping all over this sheet of watercolor paper and reactivating as needed to get kind of this cool texture where you can still see the floral images. There's a dried one that I did earlier. Now I'm going to take some of the Art Extravagance Frosty Pearl Icing Paste. This stuff is so cool, you guys. I love the way it goes on so smoothly. I'm using a palette knife and I'm just scraping that through my stencil. This is the Hugs and Kisses stencil from Sweet and Sassy Stamps. And then I'm going to take that Lindy's shaker jar again and sprinkle it directly onto my texture paste. Now, typically people will scrape that through, but I'm actually spritzing it with water because I want to play around and see what happens. I do have a lot of, obviously, wetness there, so I take a paper towel to kind of pick up some of that. And then you get this really cool effect with the texture paste mixed with the Lindy's. So now I'm taking just some black watercolor from my Complexion Prima watercolor palette and doing some paint splatters on there to give it a little bit more texture. I'm going to die cut some hearts out of that rose paper. And I'm also going to die cut from the doily die out of some black. You can see there that I've done that. And now I'm going to take the Foliage Silhouettes stamp and I'm going to stamp some of those images, one of those images on one of my hearts that I die cut. Now off screen, I actually did also stamp some script onto one of the heart die cuts as well. Somehow I missed that frame. So now I'm just assembling my card. I have all my parts, my little pieces all ready to go. And I want my doily to stick off, kind of coming off the side. So I'm just sort of measuring and then I'm going to cut off the side there. And then I'm just going to start gluing everything together. So now I'm going to emboss on a little black strip of paper one of my sentiments. I'm using the Love Word Fetty stamp set from Sweet and Sassy Stamps. And I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use. So I chose You Are My Everything because this is going to be my husband's Valentine's Day card. So I'm using the Hero Hues Unicorn Pigment ink to emboss. I think my pad is a little dry because I found after I did this, I feel like I maybe should have stamped it twice, or maybe I just need to re-ink my pad because it didn't come out very, well, it didn't come out as well as I would have liked, but that's okay. I stamped it twice just in case one of them wasn't going to be, so I could choose between the two, which one was better. And then I'm just using some Hero Arts white detail embossing powder for that. Wiping off the excess dust from the embossing buddy, and then I'm going to trim this down to fit onto my card. So I felt like my strip was a little bit higher than I wanted it to, like wider than I wanted it to be, so I put a little bit of adhesive on the back of that. If you didn't see that on the screen, but you could see me kind of with my fingers tapping some of the adhesive. I was trying to make it less sticky so I could stick it to my trimmer so that it wouldn't move around when I tried to slice it. So that was what was happening there, if you were unsure. Cleaning up my mess, and I'm gonna assemble the last bit of my card. So here you can see a close-up of that really pretty icing paste mixed with the Lindy's on top. It looks really cool, and all, of course, the paint splatters and all the fun elements, and that pretty rose shape that you can see in that one heart. It just looks awesome. I'd love to hear what you thought of this card and the video in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Until next time, happy stamping!